Hi, this is Elana from NewsBIN, and I'm going to take you through my day.
I mean, you can't know for sure, but the fact that you felt something, does that suggest that you actually got one of the vaccines and not a placebo, or at least have you convinced yourself of that?
Well, from what I'm hearing, yes. A placebo usually does not give you fatigue and chills. Hearing from other people who have talked about their experiences, mine has been sort of the same. I am still
It's November 24th, Tuesday. Thanksgiving is in 2 days. And I am here in my parents' house, working remotely on some NewsBIN projects. Today I did an interview for Kate, who is working on a project on students in isolation housing around the country. These are people that have tested positive for COVID-19 or been exposed in some way to COVID-19, and they have been staying in school-provided isolation housing or quarantined alone. I talked to Jacob Wittenberg today from BU, who was in quarantine isolation housing for 2 weeks because his friend tested positive.
You don't have fresh air, any amount of time where you're not like within 20 feet of somebody. It takes a toll on you. Like, I couldn't tell you the last time I spent that much time alone, or I spent that much time just like in one space at a time. It was really weird. And when I finally went outside, it was like freezing cold, but I could not have been like more happy to be outside. And it sounds so silly because it's like, oh, at any time you could really just walk outside, but once you can't, and you actually realize like how much you should enjoy those things.
Yeah, claustrophobic, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Jacob got a call from the university after he heard that his friend had COVID, and they told him that he had an hour to pack up his stuff to go into isolation housing, and they told him that he basically should just get a bag of essentials, maybe a backpack. But when he thought about what he actually needed, it was a lot more than that. He needed textbooks, he needed clothes, he needed his Keurig in case he didn't have a coffee maker.
They're like, oh, we have sheets, but she was like, probably bring your own comforter and pillows. And I was like, okay, this isn't just like a backpack. This is like a decent amount of like stuff. And 2 weeks is a long time. And that's not just to say like 2 weeks of just relaxing. That's like 2 weeks where you're still expected to do schoolwork and keep up on all those things. So she was like, oh, also bring your textbooks. And when I say she, this is like the lady on the phone who's telling me all these things. And I was like, okay, this is like a substantial part of my life that I'm gonna have to carry over down the street.
I think that as we kind of build up the amount of students that we interview that have been in this isolation housing, we might see some themes start to emerge. The isolation that people feel, the amount of stuff they can pack, the fact that they can't see their friends, the fear that maybe you have the virus and maybe you transmitted it to someone else. I think that there is definitely a sort of universal experience emerging, and I'm really curious to see kind of what information we end up learning. So I hope it'll be good.